ladies and gentlemen, and movie lovers of all kind, and welcome back to the channel. As always, I am your host, Brett Murphy, and for today's video, it is going to be another entry into the Movie Nerds Club. So for those of you who don't know, the Movie Nerds Club is a group of smaller movie-based content creators who on the first Saturday of every month get together, discuss, and release our own individual interpretations of the same video. And for this month, we have decided to go with the top 5 most underrated movies of 2021. And for this one, the group has left it up to each of our own interpretations as to what underrated means. So there wasn't one just set baseline like, okay, this is underrated, so take your picks from this pool. We got to decide what underrated meant to us as individuals. I'm gonna start by saying that I didn't see anywhere near as many movies as I had wanted to in 2021. Which means that I didn't really see that many underrated movies in the traditional sense that I would normally have based a video like this on, where I would normally cover movies that I don't think enough people have seen. Instead, I will mostly be basing this list on movies that received poor critical reception, but I really enjoyed. Before we actually get into the top 5 itself, I just wanted to let you all know that I have an entire playlist dedicated to all of my Movie Nerds Club entries. So be sure to check that out, and I guarantee you'll find something you like. And of course, be sure to check out all of my fellow Movie Nerds Club members' entries. I will have links to their channels all down in the description. They are wonderful people and magnificent content creators, so be sure to show them some love. And now, without further ado, let's hop right into things. Number 5. Cherry. I know the hype for this one was pretty real heading into it. This was the Russo brothers' first movie together since directing Avengers Infinity War and Endgame back to back. And this was supposed to showcase that Tom Holland is a real actor with real range and not just the new guy playing Spider-Man. Now, is this a good movie? It's fine. It's a little too long and a little too slow, but it did one thing very successfully, and that was show us that Tom Holland should indeed be taken very seriously as an actor. This dude has range, and it is on full display here, and really the only reason to check this movie out. Number 4. The Tomorrow War. I think this one broke all kinds of records or something for Amazon Prime Video, but the critics were not very kind to it at all. I, on the other hand, had a blast with this one. It's a pretty average alien invasion sci-fi action flick with a time travel twist. Chris Pratt plays Chris Pratt, but the action is actually awesome and pretty much non-stop. I mean, if you crank your subwoofer up the tiniest bit, I guarantee it will shake your entire house. And the creature design is exceptional. It's an easy turn the movie on, turn your brain off, sit back and enjoy kind of flick. Number 3. Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City. I know many of you are going to disagree with this one, as I have watched most of your worst of the year videos, and pretty much all of them had this one on it, but I've seen it twice now and I enjoy it. I mean, look, I am a sucker for not very good zombie B-movies. I just love zombie movies in general, and even the other Paul W.S. Anderson Resident Evil movies I do like. Well, not like. I see them as guilty pleasures as I watch them often even though I know they're not very good. Actually, most of them are awful. But I do like the first half of this one. I actually like the first half more than the second, which is another thing I'm in the minority on. I like the tension building, the atmosphere. Kea Scodelario is a badass as Claire Redfield, and the rest is just pretty generic zombie movie shit. The story is awful though, as they try to crush 2 like 10-hour games into 1 hour-and-a-half long movie, but I do believe if you go into it with the right mindset, you'll have some fun. Number 2. Mortal Kombat. This one is the one that probably deserves to be on the list the least because it did receive the least amount of hate. It is far from perfect. I mean, the titular Mortal Kombat doesn't even actually happen. And our main character is just some generic good guy who's not even a part of the video game lore. But it is in fact by far the best live-action Mortal Kombat movie we have gotten. The majority of the fight scenes are great. The fatalities are gory and wonderful. And it surprisingly sets up nicely for a sequel that I actually want to see. And number 1, The King's Man. This is another that isn't getting bashed too bad by audiences, but the critics just aren't having it. I don't think it's as strong as its 2 predecessors, but it does retain much of what I love about those previous 2 movies. Fast, chaotic action with great, smooth choreography, witty characters, sharp humor, and superb direction. This time around though, I don't care for the characters quite as much. I do feel that the story was a bit too big for them to handle, and it also lacks a memorable villain. However, as I've stated, I still had a blast with this movie, because of all of the Kingsman movie trademarks that are still very much so present. So that is all for today's video, folks. Be sure to let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with my top 5 underrated movies of 2021. While you're at it, feel free to let me know what your most underrated movies of this past year were. And I would like to remind you all once again to be sure to check out my fellow Movie Nerds Club members. The links to all of their channels will be down in the description, and once again, they are amazing people. They are such great content creators. Be sure to hop over to their channels, show them some love and support. If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if you'd like to see more content, consider subscribing to my channel and ringing that little bell icon. That way you can be notified about all of my latest uploads. And as always, stay safe. Thank you so much for watching. And that's a wrap. Hey you, yeah you, if you made it this far, just know I appreciate you. And while you're here, consider hitting that subscribe button.